Manchester United host Sunderland this weekend, and it's fair to say that we are in need of a win. Ruben Amorim is in need of a win. What changes will Ruben make? Any tactical tweaks? Lammens to make his debut? What about in midfield? Let me run through all the team news, as well as our match prediction for Saturday's game, which is, let's be honest, far more important than it should be in feeling.
What I would give for United to comfortably win against Sunderland on Saturday. Yeah, well, it's not going to happen. I think so anyway. But I'm going to run through the team news. Going to run through what's been said ahead of kickoff. Going to run through my predictions, starting 11, the changes from the Brentford game. Yep, I'm going to make some more changes. Will we see some tweaks? We haven't seen any so far from Ruben Amorim. Please, Ruben. Please bring some tweaks to the system, in and out of possession. Get me your predictions in the comments, as you always do. But one look at the table will tell you this is not going to be an easy game. Sunderland up there in 5th, 4 more points than United, but they've had a strong start to the season. I think the most important thing to take away from this is that they've only conceded 4 goals in 6 games. Arsenal and Crystal Palace are the only 2 teams in the Premier who've got a better defensive record than them. They've not been easy to score against. And they've also been scoring. Take a quick look at their results. You can see here. Started off the season by spanking West Ham. Well, I suppose that wasn't particularly difficult. Lost against Burnley. Beat Brentford. Drew against Crystal Palace. Drew against Villa. And then they beat Forest away from home. Probably the most impressive result, I'd say, last week. 1-0. They've not been conceding much. United, I don't think, are going to have an easy game on Saturday. I don't think United will have an easy game all season, really. And in terms of what's being said about Ruben Amorim, this has been reported by Laurie Whitwell in the latest episode of Talk of the Devils. I've watched the podcast and I've had to listen to what he said, and he's just saying that Jim Ratcliffe's got the final say. You know my feeling on that. I think that's a little bit too much involvement on my part. Surely you would trust your CEO. But anyway, I've spoken about that a million times, but Laurie is saying that kind of regardless of the result, Ratcliffe wants Amorim to get the full season. But if that's going to be the case, can we please see some tweaks? Can we please see some changes? And more importantly, can we see some results and wins? So I want to take a second to say thank you to our pay partner, BetterHelp. Now, when it comes to therapy, especially in men, it is still a taboo subject. Men's Mental Health Month is coming up in November. And if you've never done therapy, you've always looked at it and gone, I never want to do that. BetterHelp is a great introduction to that. I can tell you from personal experience how much a therapist can help. When you have these conversations yourself, just to speak to somebody who's not a family member or not a friend, but actually understands what's going on, and to be able to speak through that with someone, it's amazing. And that's where BetterHelp really can help. They've got over 7,000 reviews, over a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot. If you use a link in the description, betterhelp.com/UnitedPeoplesTV, you can get 10% off. And honestly, I just encourage you to give it a go, really. If you've ever thought, I don't want to do that, I'd encourage you to. It helped me, and I think it can help you. Now, let's get into looking at the team, right? This was the starting 11 for United against Brentford and the starting 11 for Sunderland against Forest. A couple of names that you'll know, of course, Xhaka in the middle. You got Mukiele. Was that Mukiele who signed from, is it PSG? I think so. Chris Rigg, who United were actually linked with signing last season. Enzo Lefebvre. But anyway, I'm going to focus on United. And there's going to be some changes. And I swear on my life, if I don't see this switch, we have to see. There is no reason at all why Senny Lammens doesn't make his debut in this game. I'm sorry. I understood it for City away. I understood it for Chelsea at home. I've done it at Chelsea at home. I understood it not to give his debut away from home against Brentford, but this is Sunderland at home. Start him. Give him the opportunity. Please. And I'm just done with Bayindir. I actually don't think he's been that bad this season, but still Bayindir, just you look at him and go, he's capable of just doing something. Get him out of the team. And I'm getting 2 of these out of the team. Am I going to really make this? Yeah, I am. Yep, I'm getting 2 of these out of the team. Shaw and Maguire out of the team. De Ligt starting there. I'm going to get Aiden Heaven here. Am I really going to get Heaven in for his first start? Mate, if Martinez was fit, Martinez is starting here. Reason I'm doing this, right? We know to play this high line, you need the pace. I mean, that's not rocket science. Shaw is also just... Ruben Amorim spoke this week with Owen Hargreaves, and he spoke about how there are players who are sort of, even with players with experience in certain game situations, like it's almost, he doesn't say that they are scarred, but it's obviously that's what he's insinuating, or maybe it's just my interpretation of it. Remove these players. Yoro should be starting, playing wide centre-back. De Ligt's best position is central centre-back. Yeah, he played great there at wide centre-back against Chelsea, but that was kind of a one-off, I think, in terms of across a course of season. De Ligt was awful against Brentford, so was everyone else. Played De Ligt through the middle, put Heron in instead of Shaw, and put Yoro in the starting 11. They're the changes I would make. Maybe this isn't a predicted 11, this one. This is more of a, this is the 11 that I would love to see, but probably won't. I suppose that's a little bit different. Can't really put that in the title. Not particularly snappy. Ugarte, he's going to come out for Casemiro. That's an obvious change that's going to happen. Casemiro served his 1-game suspension. Right? You know the tweak I want to see. I want to see United dropping the centre forward to become the third midfielder, and then moving our 2 strikers up to become split strikers, switching to a 5-3-2. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think it's going to happen. So, when it comes to Fernandes and when it comes to Casemiro, you know what I just want to see in this game? Please, can we see Casemiro being the deeper of the 2 midfielders? Put Šeško back up to his position. It's too often I'm seeing Fernandes coming into these positions trying to get the ball. And against Brentford, you saw Ugarte being the player who was kind of here going, I'll be the link midfielder. No, you can't. Casemiro, I want him to be deeper and Bruno to be slightly further forward. Is that too much of a tweak to ask? In terms of wing-backs, I think that I don't know about the readiness of Ahmad for this game. We know that he missed it because of a family bereavement. We don't know whether he's ready or not, but Amorim will put him to the side and he will ask him. He'll say, are you ready, Ahmad? And if you are, then he'd love to play against his former club, Sunderland. The Sunderland manager was speaking about him ahead of the game. That's an easy one. In and out. Now, Ahmad this season at wing-back has he's not been anywhere near as effective as he was last season. I actually think some of his best performances came from that position. If he's fit, I start him. If he's not... Is Mazraoui going to be fit for this game? Don't actually know. Dorgu on the left-hand side. Specifically in this game, of course I'm playing Cunha, I'm playing Mbeumo, I'm playing Šeško. I don't need to tell you that. I don't need to say anything. But the thing I'm desperate to see in this game, it feels like I'm desperate anyway. I want to see Mbeumo get into these positions. I want to see Dorgu getting into those positions on the overlap, and both of them firing in those crosses. Dorgu with the early ones, like the early in-swingers like this, right? Trying to catch, probably a little bit different on the shape there. I'll ignore that. Oh, God. All gone wrong. He's not going to bend it backwards. Let me clear that drawing. I want Dorgu to fire in early crosses to Šeško. I want Mbeumo to get into these positions and fire these sorts of crosses in deep to the back stick for Šeško to run onto. That's what I want to see. I want to see United crossing in this game. They're not going to be an easy team to play against. They're coming here confident. They're coming in here with results. They're coming in here, as I said, having only conceded 4 goals, with only Crystal Palace and Arsenal having better defensive records. Their goal against Forest last week was a really dead simple goal. Xhaka cross over the defence, back stick, someone running in, headed it in. And their goalkeeper, by the way, was it Roofs? Had a blinder. So he's definitely one to watch. I imagine he's going to have a good game. Prediction-wise, I'm going to go for a 2-1 United. I mean, the bookies have us down as mega favourites. I don't really know how they put us down as mega favourites, but in the immediate aftermath of that Brentford game, I said, you know what? It's always going to semi-annoy me. I bet you're going to see this team turn up against Sunderland. Old Trafford won't allow United to set off in the way that they sat off and to be as unaggressive as they were. So I can't imagine they play like that, like they did against Brentford at Old Trafford. Will we have enough to find the back of the net? We've kind of had enough in most games this season. Not all of them, but most of them. I just want it to click. I really, 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 really want to be proven wrong about losing faith this week. I want to be able to come back to this and say, oh, man, I was wrong, wasn't I? I'm so happy to be wrong. It's got to start with a win against Sunderland. Because who have we got next? Liverpool. Let me know your prediction. I'm going for a 2-1. That's my starting 11. Change-wise, I'm giving Lammens his debut. I'm bringing in Heaven. I'm bringing Yora back into the starting 11. Casemiro comes in. And Ahmad as well. It's quite a few changes, actually. Maybe it won't be that many changes, but that's mine. Let me know yours in the comments and your prediction.